Yo, what's good, y'all boys? This your boy Denzel Curry. Make sure you check me out on the Bootleg Kev Podcast. Tune in and stay tuned.
Bootleg Kev Show, special guest in here, Denzel Curry.
What's good?
Welcome. You know, I feel like I've been trying to interview you for like fucking 8 years now, so it's good to finally link with you.
Man, listen, I think I told you this before then, like, you know, I was really hard at not reaching out to people and shit.
Right.
Like, I just didn't do it. But, you know, we finally here. We finally get to talk.
I feel like I was talking to somebody in your team last year, but did you have like an injury or something? Like, did you like hurt some part of your body or something? And I
got an injury now.
I know you got an injury now, but
this was probably like back in like 2019 then.
Probably.
Because I did have a crazy injury then. Because that's when I was on tour with Billie Eilish and shit.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
How is that touring with Billie Eilish?
Well, Billie Eilish, that's my dog, you know?
She seems super chill.
Oh, she cool as fuck.
But like, what is that like? Because your stage presence is insane. Your music is extremely, like, I feel like it's built for like live environments.
Right.
But that's a different type of vibe, right? Like,
man,
it's a lot of little girls.
The whole thing with the Billie Eilish tour, it just opened my eyes to like what I could possibly be doing, you know? So what I mean by that is like I was doing venues and clubs and stuff like that.
Right.
And you know, that's pretty much easy for me.
Very successfully, I might add.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
But when I got to do those arenas, it was different. I see what Kanye West was talking about when he went on tour with U2. Like, he wanted to make music for like arenas and shit like that. So with her giving me the opportunity to open up for her own tour, I felt like that was gangster because like I never heard my music in that kind of environment before. So it made me look at my music differently.
It made you kind of like, I feel like there is a such thing as like making music for arenas. Like we think of like people like, yo, this is a festival record. This is gonna go crazy in front of at Coachella. Like, so now when you go in and you record certain records, you'll have that in mind because you've actually been through it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that shit is like synth heavy and bass heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just want to be able to have the crowd singing my lyrics because to be honest with you, like I be rapping fast and then I be saying big words and people, like I use all these type of metaphors and sometimes it hit and sometimes it miss and people be like, what the fuck you talking about, Denzel? You know, it's never like real straight up, but with just me working now, I feel like melody is always gonna win. Like we know songs just based off the melody, like A, B, C, D,
of course,
E, F, G. We know all that shit.
You can hum it and you'll be like, I know what that is. Yeah.
You know, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, same shit.
How would someone hum Ultimate?
No.
So was Billie Eilish just a fan of you, and like, what, like, was it her idea? Like, how did that happen? Because that's kind of, she's young, you know.
All right, it happened in 2016 FYF. That's when she came to my show for the first time. Okay. I'm like one of her favorite rappers.
Okay.
And I didn't even know I was one of her favorite rappers until she told me in 2017, because that's where we met officially. And the first time we met, we was at the studio. We was, you know, supposed to work on the record. It was me, her, and Phineas. And we didn't even make a record. We was just cracking jokes the whole time. We went to go get a acai bowl, go eat. We was just, you know, talking to each other, just, you know, just cutting up. Then our relationship started to build more and more over time as, you know, as time progressed and shit. And basically, you know, she came to the studio and worked on Sirens, which is with me and Jed on a Taboo record.
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out to Billie. She seems to be like someone who's like, despite all the fame and being one of the biggest, you know, pop stars in the world, she seems pretty like, every time I see her talking or doing interviews, she seems like a humble, cool chick.
Bro, she's down to earth as fuck.
And I think she wears Jinkos, which is awesome.
I don't even know what that is, but it's okay.
Jinko pants?
Jinko?
You don't remember Jinko? Oh, how old are you? Well, dude, yeah.
I'm 27.
Yeah, you don't remember Jinkos?
Here's the thing, man.
Giant pockets, juggalos used to wear them.
Oh, you talking about like Insane Clown Posse type shit?
Nah, you don't remember the Jinko pants? Huge legs, and the pockets were like the size of this TV.
Hell nah.
Oh, man.
Nah, bruh.
They was in Florida wearing them somewhere.
I wasn't wearing them.
They're probably wearing them in the middle of Florida. Like Polk County had them for sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about...
Not Dade County.
Not Dade County.
Not Dade County.
Yo, you are a pioneer, though. I want to give you love because I I would always be interviewing some of these. I feel like South Florida in general has really had its moment is still happening, but it kind of really kicked off like where nationally, like some of the bigger artists were all from, obviously Kodak Black is one of those guys, X, Little Pump, we can go on and on and on. But I do feel like you and the Raider Clan really kicked off that whole entire wave out of South Florida.
I mean, of course, and I'm gonna give respect where it's due, like Spaceghostpurrp really was like the driving force for that shit at the time when he first came out and him and Rocky was running together until the beef happened. But when it came down to Raider Clan and the whole aesthetic and everything before we disbanded, like we was really trying to bombard the industry on some shit. Like when we was young and we was all in high school at the time.
I feel like y'all laid the roots for all this other shit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Of course, all that shit came from us.
Yeah, 100%. And you need to get your flowers for that. Yeah, it's crazy because when you think about it, we were just talking about it yesterday, the ASAP Rocky Spaceghostpurrp thing. Such an unfortunate thing because it's like, what if that never would have happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, listen, if that would have never happened, we probably would have had a stronghold on the game right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like the driving force of the culture, both Raider Clan and ASAP.
And a lot of the aesthetic and a lot of the vibe I feel like that Rocky had for the ASAP mob, was heavily influenced by the Raider Clan shit as well.
Yeah, I mean, when it came down to everything that was going on, and then when Purp and Rocky was going through it and shit, and Blackland Radio 66.6 did come out before I heard Live Love ASAP or Pesos. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I still have respect for Rocky. I still respect Rocky to this day. You get what I'm saying? But I give credit where credit is due. If it wasn't for Purp and if it wasn't for Raider Clan, I wouldn't have a platform to be Denzel Curry. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to always give respect to them regardless of what the fuck me and this nigga Purp go through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's your relationship? Like, what is Purp up to? Do you have a relationship with him anymore?
I don't know. I don't talk to fool like that. He don't talk to me. I don't talk to him. But we still, he'll big me up and then he'll disrespect me
in the same interview.
Probably in the same week.
Yeah.
But it's all love from my point. Right. And I hope it's all love from him. And it is what it is.
Well, I was telling you this, man. I do feel like you're very successful. But I still feel like somehow you're like underappreciated in the industry because I feel like you're one of the most versatile rappers, artists, period, in the last decade or so. I just listened to your 99% of your new album. I'm like, man, like the shit that you can do with between melodies, between the fast rap shit, between the boom bap shit. It's there's just not a lot of people who can cover all those bases and cover them very well and organically, if that makes sense.
Well, a lot of that shit get lost in translation because I'm not popular. If you want to be real, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not pop music.
Yeah, I'm not pop music.
Right.
So you got to really dig in the crevice to be like, oh, I listen to Denzel Curry. Like, my music was catered to a niche crowd. You dig?
Yeah.
And me, when it comes down to this album, I just want everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a Denzel Curry fan or not. I want you to feel that shit. Period.
Is this the first album that you took that approach with?
Yeah, I took my feelings first before I took what I was going to think about rapping about. It was my feelings. Like whatever I felt, I know people have the same feelings. So I'm going to write what I feel instead of writing what I know.
I like that. I would just learn that you do Muay Thai.
Yeah.
You've been doing it since 2017?
Mm-hmm. But if a little bit of background, Kev, a lot of my brothers, like my brothers, been in the streets and shit like that. I'm the only one out of my brothers that never been to jail. You know what I'm saying? I lost one of my brothers, but the brother I did lose, he was a backyard fighter back in the day with like Kimbo Slice and Dada 5000.
Yeah,
and all
those
them
videos
boys.
were crazy, and that was all in Miami. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a movie that he was in called Dogfight, so I'm just putting you up on game. And I was also in the movie too, but that was like 12-year-old Denzel. And if you go on YouTube to this day and you look up like fights like Level Martinez versus Alfonso and stuff like that. I used to watch
all those backyard fights. They were crazy.
If you look at Tree versus Mike, you gonna see me there in a white tee holding the camera up.
So you used to be in the backyard.
I used to be in the backyard, like dead ass. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you.
How would they organize those things? Because
bruh, like my brother would just come in the room and he'd be like, hey, Jit, you want to come over here and see me fight? And I'm be like, all right. You know, I would go there. It'll be in Perrine. In the middle of Perrine, it would be a little greenhouse and a big ass backyard. And they will check you at the gate to see if you got guns, knives, whatever.
Right.
And if you got guns and knives, whatever, you got to go put that shit in your car. And then you come in. They check kids too. So you go in there, you know what I'm saying? And there'd be a ring in there. At first, it was like a box ring. At first, it didn't have no ring at all.
I was gonna say some of the videos there's just no ring.
Yeah, it was just people crowding around.
Yeah.
At first, they didn't have a ring. Then they had a ring. Then they had an octagon. Then they had a triangle. That was like the final, you know? And just being back there and just watching all these fights, you hearing the beef go down with people and shit, you know? And you're just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, you see a big ass dude like, oh, I'm gonna get you, nigga. I'm gonna get, like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
Yeah, and I'm 12 years old looking at all this shit like, yo, this is like some real fighting shit. Like, this is some real tournament shit. And I'm watching people get knocked the fuck out. I'm watching blood just gushing, just out of my brother's nose.
Did your brother ever fight Kimbo?
Nah, hell no. Kimbo was already like in the UFC around this time.
Okay. Kimbo's
But Dada and Kimbo used to roll with each other until they kind of fell out. You know what I'm saying? And around that time, it was just Dada and what Dada was doing in the backyards. But Kimbo was before that. Okay. You know what I mean? So, you know, long live Kimbo, you feel me?
So that was kind of the origins of that got you interested in learning how to fight.
I mean, I had to learn how to fight. I had too many brothers to not know how to fight.
How many brothers do you have?
Well, one of them passed. It was 4 of us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And were you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to learn how to fight.
I got to learn how to fight. I was like, either getting bullied outside the house and getting bullied inside the house. So I had to learn how to fight either way it go.
So in 2017, you take a Muay Thai.
Yeah.
What to kind of give us the rundown on like just the Muay Thai shit, because you're very passionate about it. Well, I don't think a lot of people know, because you're very, you know your shit, man. Like,
well, when it comes down to Muay Thai, man, I stopped smoking weed, right? And this was back in 2017. I felt like my life was gonna be boring because I wasn't like smoking,
right?
And then I was like, you know, might as well stop drinking too. So I just looked up. I remember I was doing martial arts with my brothers and stuff like that when I was younger. So I'm like, you know, when I find a time, you know, if I get enough money, I'm just gonna go back into martial arts. And I said that when I first started rapping and shit, because I stopped doing it. And then next thing you know, I was like, oh, there's a Muay Thai place right down the street. It was 5-star martial arts. Go there. I signed up. Guy signed me up. I looked at the class, and then I went in the next day, started doing it. Got my girl to do it, and then I just kept doing it ever since.
And it's been 5 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 5 years. I can't train now because I got a torn ACL, but like,
is it like do you get belts? What's your belt level?
Well, in Thailand, they don't really have a ranking system.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they've been doing it since they was kids. They get a Prajib, but that's like cut off like addresses. That's what they will wear before they go. It's like it brings them good luck. But in like the ranking system at the school, they will rank it like how they will rank jiu-jitsu. You get what I'm saying? You start off white. You know, you might get a stripe. You might end up at blue. You might get a stripe. You might end up at purple. You might get a stripe. You might end up at brown. And then all the way to black, like brown to black. You feel me?
How
and
serious?
Some people rank their schools differently though.
How far would you take the Muay Thai thing? Because we know guys like we got a friend D Smoke who was like a semi-professional boxer before he really started popping as a rapper. So like, would you like how far would you take it? I
mean, I wanted to compete. To be honest, I wanted to compete to see where my skill level was at, you know, to see if I'm pretty, you know, see where I'm at and see where I need to improve on, you know what I mean? But that's how far I was willing to take it, like to do a couple matches. But other than that, it was just I just like doing it for my sanity, to be real.
It's almost like therapy. Have you been to Thailand?
Yes.
How was that?
Thailand's dope. It's like very
Did you go out there and like watch Muay Thai like in its, because you know you see these like YouTube videos of like the Muay Thai fights in Thailand?
You mean like Lupini Stadium, stuff like that?
I don't know, the shit's so crazy though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to do that, but my boy Kashan, he been trying to get me to go back to Thailand and like go to the gyms, because you got to know somebody to have that connection to the gyms
just to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's open, but I would much rather know somebody who been there before and know these gyms. You know what I'm saying?
Pull up and be like, hey,
and just pull up.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. You also obviously are a big UFC fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who's your, like, if you had to give me your GOAT, like top 3 fighters ever?
Ever?
Since you've been watching.
Since I've been watching.
Okay.
All right. I gotta put Anderson Silva in there.
Anderson Silva's the guy who broke his leg, right?
But he raw though.
Bro, he
raw as fuck. This is gonna be controversial. I'm gonna put John Jones up there.
Shout out to John Jones. He loves cocaine.
Can I shout out John Jones?
This is documented, by the way.
And as of right now, recently, Stylebender,
yeah.
Those are my 3. But when it comes down to like overall, like I have a lot of favorite fighters that are like in the women's division is Valentina Shevchenko. Like she be fucking people up. Like there was a match where she was fucking this lady up so bad. I was waiting for the referee to stop it. The man would not stop it. It took her to choke the girl out.
Some of those
for him to stop the match.
I forget which female fight it was. I think it was last year, the year before, where the girl's head was lumped.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Hell yeah.
I was like, how?
Oh wait, this happened last year, right?
Yeah,
I was actually at that fight. No. This happened 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a year or two ago. Yeah,
it happened in 2020 before the pandemic. Yo, that was Wally Zane versus Joanna Jacek. I remember that fight. I was there at that fight. I was watching that fight.
Her head was. I was like, is she gonna be all right? Like,
no, she was okay.
That shit is
her
crazy.
Her head went back to normal. But that was one of the best fights I ever seen in the women's division ever.
That shit's crazy. That kind of head trauma can't be. I don't know, man. That's why I think like I feel like fighters' peaks are usually shorter than like any other type of athlete. You know,
it's a lot of wear and tear on your body.
It's like a short peak. Like even if you think of like Conor McGregor, like what he probably had like a 4-year run as like that dude, and then I feel like he's still the name, he's still the draw, he's still gonna sell pay-per-views, but like in terms of like he's lost he's been losing, right?
Yeah, but I'm a fan of his striking. You know, it's kind of hard when you're a striker. Like wrestlers is like the answer to that.
So if you're a striker, a bad matchup for you is a wrestler.
Against a wrestler, they'll tire you out.
Is that what happened with the MAGA dude and
Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I think so. Because he has wrestling on his side. You know what I mean? And Masvidal is a striker. You get me? So between that matchup, I would love to go for Masvidal. I would love for him to win, but I knew Kobe was going to win because he got wrestling. Like wrestlers are strong, man. Strong people.
On this album, I feel like there's some moments that are extremely vulnerable, extremely honest. Like, I guess for you, like, how much of this album was like you had to get some shit off your chest? I guess
all of it.
Yeah, because it felt that way, especially the intro.
Like that was just laying my demons out on Front Street. Like all my flaws out on Front Street.
Off the rip.
Yeah. I don't want to sugarcoat shit. I know where I fuck up at. You feel me? So I wanted to put that on Front Street so people know like, hey, I'm human. Like I be doing fucked up shit and I be going through fucked up shit. You know? That doesn't mean I can't change. That doesn't mean you can't change either. If you did something, if you made bad choices in your day, that doesn't stop you from making good choices later. You know what I mean?
That's real.
And I just wanted to show my self on Front Street where I didn't hide behind clever bars or I didn't hide behind a personality. I just wanted to show you Denzel.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, that's what it felt like. What are the things that like, because you've obviously had what's it been? About 10 years?
It's been 10 years.
10-year run?
Yeah.
And you still are here. You're still very successful, more successful than ever. You're still very relevant. You're sane. You're not, some people 10 years in, you could tell like the industry hasn't been good on you. You know what I mean? What are the things that obviously you mentioned Muay Thai being a form of therapy, but is there anything else that you've kind of been able to adapt to just kind of help you deal with just the anxiety or just the pressures of being an artist or just like when you're feeling down? Throughout
my time through quarantine and stuff like that, actual therapy was helping me.
Like talking to a therapist.
Talking actually to a therapist.
Right. Was it on Zoom?
Sometimes it was on Zoom and sometimes it was in person, but I would have to wear a mask.
Right.
And I would have to get the little clicky thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got a regular temperature. But yeah, it was that. It was martial arts. And it was just being close with God, like trying to like find your connection back with God. And writing on this album, that helps a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's kind of like a journal type thing, right?
Yeah, it was like diary entries.
Yeah, nah, that's dope. You were saying you do hot yoga too. We were talking about hot yoga.
Hey man, hey, you can't be just putting my shit out on Front Street like a nigga do hot yoga.
Wiz Khalifa was so passionate about
Man,
me doing hot yoga yesterday.
I'm just fucking with you, but yeah, but hot yoga is the shit.
I want to try that, and I want to try a sensory deprivation tank.
That's when
you sit in like a tank, and it's
and
like
it's water.
I heard like if you sit in that shit, even if you
start hallucinating.
Yeah, even if you're not on anything, it's like a natural like hallucinate. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the rapper, you know who Daylight is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Daylight was telling me about that shit years ago. It's like sensory deprivation.
Shout out to Daylight.
Shout out to Daylight.
Daylight's an amazing MC.
Yeah, you know it's crazy. Me and him are 10 years apart, and his birthday is like a few days before mine.
Nice guy too.
Super nice guy.
I remember in Phoenix, he had a battle at the Celebrity Theater and he shed on stage, which was interesting.
Wait, you was there for that?
I was not there, but all my friends, I'm from Phoenix. So I had like 7 of my homies like, yo, bro, we're at this fucking battle and dude started shitting on stage. I was like, what? The Spawn guy?
You know what's crazy? Nobody knows that's where his face tattoo came from. It's Chapel from Spawn.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Spawn. You know what's crazy? I heard they're remaking they're going to do a new Spawn movie. They should, because the first one was good, but it wasn't like great.
Yeah, they saying they trying to get Jamie Foxx for it.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
Maybe.
The first one, I was like, as a kid, I was like, yeah, this is fire. As an adult, I'm like, this ain't that fire.
Just like that movie right there.
Belly?
When I was a kid, it was the best movie ever, and then when I like really started like find out about like, you know, what cinema like, I'm like, okay, visually it's amazing, but God,
just the
story of Belly is terrible.
Super terrible.
But you watch it and it's like there's moments in the movie that are like iconic. And like that's all that like as like a 10-year-old whose favorite rappers is Nas and
distract you from the actual movie.
Yeah, like the intro where they come in and the shit's in their eyes and they get the guns from the toilet. But it's probably in my opinion, the best worst movie ever. For nostalgic purposes, strictly.
There are movies that are like that, like the best worst movie.
Oh, there's a lot of shitty
good movies.
I guess we'll call them shitty. What's another one?
Damn. What's another one?
Every movie Matthew McConaughey's been in except Dallas Buyers Club.
I never got into Matthew McConaughey movies, man. Shit, I used to think Daredevil, like that movie was raw until I realized like I don't like the way that Ben Affleck acts.
He's in a lot of those movies we're talking about.
Yeah, he's in a lot of those, except The Town.
The Town was raw.
I give him The Town.
Shout out to the homie Slain. Yeah, The Town was crazy. Geely with J-Lo, they say is like the worst movie ever. But I, as a kid, because I used to be obsessed with J-Lo, I was like, I don't get it. It's not terrible. But Belly, definitely terrible. Not as bad as Belly 2. Belly 2 was starring the game. Terrible movie.
I thought Boosie was in that movie.
I hope he is. I don't remember.
Was he in
No, it was starring the game.
Oh my God.
If Boosie was in there and didn't make the fucking VHS cover, because I had it.
I never seen Belly 2, so I can't even tell you.
Yeah, it's not it. I wonder if they just, it was like someone shot it on their iPhone, or I don't know. This was like 12 years ago. Shout out to Belly.
Yeah, movies with rappers in them. You know what movie I like that got, I like Get Rich or Die Trying.
Solid movie.
That's a solid movie. I like Southpaw.
Southpaw was dope.
Well, those are 50 Cent movies, right?
Yeah, I mean 8 Mile was good, but then
great.
We just went through we just talked about this the other day. There were so many random, like when I was growing up, they used to just put shit out, and like there was a movie called Ticker, and it was Nas and Steven Seagal and this other dude, but they had Nas front and center on the cover, like he had a real part in the movie. It was like starring, and it said Nas like right in the middle, and I was like, Nas my favorite rapper, right? So I buy the fucking DVD.
Illmatic's my shit.
He's in the movie for 30 seconds.
Dead ass?
Dead ass.
But it's Steven Seagal?
It's Steven Seagal, Nas, and some other guy, but it was like the cover of the movie. It's just Nas, Steven Seagal's on the left, and this other white dude's on the right. So you thinking, oh shit, Nas is in this motherfucker, let's go.
Hey, Romeo Must Die was hard.
DMX Exit Wounds was fire too.
Oh, that shit was hard. Cradle to the Grave was hard too.
Cradle to the Grave was fire. Then there's like random ones like, Yeah, there's a lot. Shout out to Killer Season. Cameron.
Ooh. Yeah, Killer Season was funny.
That Master P shit, I got the hookup.
Hey, yo,
was solid.
in my back, B.
I got the hookup. Master P was solid. Master P had a little wave with the movies for.
Didn't he make that movie Hot Boys with Silk the Shocker?
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
Silk the Shocker. Best worst rapper ever.
It ain't my fault, it's my shit.
Best worst rapper ever.
It ain't my fault, it's pretty hard.
Quite possibly the belly of rappers. Silk the Shocker.
I ain't gonna sit here and throw names.
I was just
on
DMing him, and I want to interview him because I really would like to just talk to him and be like, dude, there was like 90 days when I was 11. I thought you were the greatest rapper alive because I had a No Limit chain, and I had one of those from the middle of the mall. I had a No Limit chain and a Wu-Tang chain.
You had a Wu-Tang chain?
Yeah. They were like $12.
Oh, shit.
Turned green. Have you seen the new Batman movie?
Nah, not yet. Don't spoil it.
Okay. It's really good.
But don't spoil it.
I won't.
You seen Doom?
No. It's everyone who's seen it that I know says it's very it's just like one of those movies where you're like 45 minutes in and you're like, what the fuck is even going on right now?
It's not like that though.
I haven't watched it.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Did you play the game?
Dune?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know.
Dune was a game.
It was?
It was a game.
You saying Doom?
Dune. D-U-N-E.
You said Doom.
Doom was a game. And
Doom is a game.
So was Dune.
Dune was a book.
It was a game on PC.
Was it?
Yes. Google that shit. Maybe I'm tripping. Dune, the game, it was like a PC game. Idris Elba's in it, right?
What? Wait, and what? In Dune?
Isn't he in Dune?
Hell no.
Then I don't. I know it's on
That shit a book.
It's on HBO Max right now.
It was on HBO Max.
Isn't it a game?
Oh yeah, it is actually a game.
They have a bunch of games.
They took for PC.
Yeah, it's a PC game from
You
like
serious?
the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Steam. That's crazy.
No, from the 90s.
Yeah, I wish that was.
The only games I played on PC was like Half-Life.
Only games I played on PC was fucking Oregon Trail.
I don't even know what that is.
Shit. We used to get that free day at school. They put you on that with that floppy disk. You play that Oregon Trail. You go hunting, kill you a buffalo, feed your family until your daughter gets a snake bite, and then she dies.
Oh shit.
The goal is to get to Oregon. You never played Oregon Trail?
No.
Oh man.
When I was coming up, motherfuckers was playing RuneScape and shit. I never played that shit.
Yeah, I didn't have a computer till I was like 15, so yeah. I never got into the online gaming. Do you do game now, like on the PC or on the?
Nah, I play on the PlayStation.
You play on the PlayStation?
Yeah.
What is your go-to?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yo. So I don't have time for anything in life. So I have this thing where I buy games and I just don't play them. So I have like my son plays them. So shout out to my son, Aiden.
I mean, I see you play the Mortal Kombat because you got it in here.
Yeah, I mean
That's legendary though. Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't play Mortal Kombat?
Right, but that game, I bought it, and it's the one game that game and the Spider-Man game, I haven't touched yet.
The Spider-Man game is pretty fire.
I know. So those are like the two games. Like whenever I have like time to breathe, I want to try to play. My son says that.
Wait, you never played the new Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I play with my kid. That's easy though. That's easy to hop in, do some matches, and
Yeah.
The other shit you gotta really be the Ghost of what is it?
Ghost of Tsushima.
That shit you gotta be committed to.
That shit is hard, bro, because this is a whole story.
My son says it might be the best game ever.
It's one of the best games. I ain't gonna say it's the best game.
He's like, it's up there. For me, it's
because you got that new God of War that came out.
the first Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game ever.
I never played Metal Gear Solid. Never played it. I know who Snake is and everything, but I never played Metal Gear Solid.
The first one, bruh.
Super Smash Brothers was my shit.
Super Smash Bros is amazing. Yeah, I think there's a new game. Is it Elder Ring?
I heard about that.
It's supposed to be
coming out, right?
Elden Ring it's out. Someone we just knew who was saying that they were playing it. Oh, Big K.R.I.T. K.R.I.T. last night was telling us. He's like, I'm addicted to this shit.
That's another person who don't get the credit they deserve.
I told him that yesterday. I was like, hey, K.R.I.T., for what it's worth, you're one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Did you not hear K.R.I.T. was here? Or Return to Forever?
I have K.R.I.T. was here on vinyl.
I was in high school bumping that shit.
Of course. No, trust me.
I started liking Big K.R.I.T. I ain't gonna say I listen to him now.
Right.
But when I was listening to him, like Glass House on Wiz's project on Cushion Orange Juice, shit was hard. And then he came out with that K.R.I.T. was here, and he came out with the Return to Forever.
Return to Forever was that's my favorite one.
That was one of the best albums of that year, whatever it was 2010.
It's probably one of my favorite albums of the 2010s. Shout out to K.R.I.T. Yeah. We had a dope interview yesterday. Yo, we got to take a break in the interview real quick. Tell you about our folks at MyBookie, man. This is my favorite time of the year to gamble. I love gambling on sports. And if you've been thinking about putting your toe into the pool, come and join me at MyBookie, okay? Right now, we're doing a promotion at MyBookie. It's crazy. When you sign up for a new account and you make your first deposit, they will match that deposit up to $1,000. It is March Madness. The NCAA tournament is here. The brackets is getting filled out. What I need y'all to do also is go on to MyBookie. When you sign up, they got their My Bracket promotion going on. It's pretty crazy. So essentially, you sign up for My Bracket. First place grand prize winner gets a Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin. Second place gets some crazy ass NFT that's worth a shit ton of money. I don't know shit about NFTs. Third place, $100,000 in cash and prizes. So what are you doing? Go to MyBookie right now, man. Get in on some of this March Madness, some of this NBA action. I wonder what the odds were on Tom Brady coming back from retirement. Sheesh. MyBookie.ag. Use that promo code BOOTLEG, BOOTLEG, one word. When you sign up, and your first deposit will be matched up to $1,000 in free money. Let's get back to the interview. Yo, it's crazy because you're like your kind of class of hip hop. You were like right before a lot of, you were on the same shows with a lot of these kids. I think the first big show I might have saw you on was the first or second Rolling Loud. Was it the second Rolling Loud? There was like a second. Yeah, it was the second Rolling Loud I DJ'd. It was the one that was in Wynwood.
And that was the first one.
No, that was the second one.
That was the first one.
No, because I didn't.
There was two of them.
Well, the first one had Schoolboy Q headlining and Travis.
Yeah,
I didn't go to that one.
I was there.
That was the one that rained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin was working the dough.
The second one I DJ'd at, and that was the one. It was Lil Wayne and Future headlining, and it was in Wynwood.
That was in 2016
or 15.
2016.
16. It was 2016.
That was 2016.
Yeah.
Because 2015 was the first one.
You were on the other stage, but it was crazy because it was like 21 Savage was super young, and I remember I think he went on before you. But just in terms of like the class of like hip hop you are, like I feel like you are kind of like right before when things started to get really, in my opinion, not to my liking, I suppose. I look at like 2017, 2018, like rap is like the dark ages.
I can't even call it the dark ages because you got some gems in there.
No, there's gems. I'm not saying everything, but in terms of like just some of the stuff labels were signing.
Oh.
Like we would have like guys like Kid Boo come and to the station, and this guy was like, the whole reason he got signed is because he went viral for saying he was like a clone, or like there was Instagram kids get like Supreme Patty got offered a deal from 300.
I don't think it takes that much to get signed nowadays because you just gotta have an image and shit, and you can make a cool song or whatever.
But my thing is like I feel like 2017, 2018, it was rough because I would just be like, what the fuck are these labels seeing in some of these? Like it was just,
I ain't gonna lie,
the Clout era.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Peak Clout era. Peak Clout era, man.
It was a Clout era,
and I'm so glad that it like kind of has faded away a bit.
It was. The way it faded out was pretty horrible.
What do you mean?
Like people dying from overdoses, gun violence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the Clout era ushered back in the gangster rap era, because right now, like I feel like this is the gangster rap era. It's like happening all over again.
Yeah, think about ESTG and Yo, and like I mean, a lot of those guys, they're the biggest dudes. They're getting the biggest bags. Dirk, we can go, but yeah, it's crazy because you're like, you probably knew a lot of these dudes, and I just in terms of like the drug shit in hip hop, man, it's just crazy to think of all the talent that we lost over the last.
I mean, a lot of these guys that that we lost in hip hop were guys that I met back in the day. I mean, X, if you know our history, X used to live with me. That's one. We lost him.
What year was that?
That was X lived with me in 2016. And then he started to live with Bruno in like 2017, around that time, and then he blew up. Well, actually, it was later that year. It was like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, because I'm not totally hip to, I knew you guys were cool, but like, give me the history of you and X, because at that time, I'm sure he's...
I mean, I would get into it,
yeah.
But, you know, I talk to everybody about, like, you know, X's legacy, and I'm just trying to build my own shit, you know
I respect that. I respect that.
You know, everybody know tons of information about X already.
That's fair. That's fair.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, they actually recycle stories about X nowadays because they want to know more about him, but my time with him is what I told other interviewers and shit, so...
What about the biggest misconception about him? You live with somebody, you really get to know him, you know?
I mean, shit. Like, what you see is what you get.
That's fair.
Whatever you saw is what you got. That's how he was.
How do you feel about where Florida is right now in the game? Because now I feel like it's not only, I mean, before it was like Miami, Dade County, you know, it was really a southern Florida, South Florida vibe that was holding down the state. But now the whole state is lit.
Yeah, the whole state is
Orlando's popping,
Jacksonville's popping,
Tampa's on the way up. You know, there's some artists in Tampa that are dope. But
yeah, like you ever heard of I Am Doechii?
I heard of them. Yeah.
I Am Doechii is a girl, but like,
wait,
I Am Doechii is a girl. She I think she on TDE right now.
That's the girl that they just signed.
Yeah,
they just signed her like a week ago, right?
I don't think it was a week ago, but
they just announced that they signed her.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I think they just announced it.
But yeah, she straight out of Tampa too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember when I first met her, and she was like, I came to your show back in like 2007. I was like, what the fuck?
Those Ybor City shows were crazy.
Yeah, so I was just thinking to myself, like, damn. But the fact that Florida's on the rise right now, like, I just embrace it all. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not just South Florida doing something. You feel me? Like, just opening that door for Florida, regardless of how it sounds. Like, it could be ratchet, it could be beef and whatever it is.
Right,
like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got Glock 9, you got Hot Boy, you got Spot 'em, Got 'em, you got Young and Ace, Julio,
we just
Whopper with the Chopper, Spinner Benz, you know what I'm saying? I Am Doechii.
Taliban Duda from Tampa's dope.
Yeah, you got all these people that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as fuck when you realize a lot of these guys are beefing.
Wave.
Rod Wave is tight too.
St. Pete. It's crazy because he's such a star. I just be forgetting he's from St. Pete because I lived in St. Pete for 3 years.
That shit is crazy. I got family in St. Pete.
Shout out to St. Pete, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a vibe until it's not.
I think Florida's a vibe until it's not.
That's
and
the whole
crazy
state.
thing is, like, when you from Miami, like, we don't associate with the rest of Florida. It's so funny.
That's real. I mean, I feel like Miami's such a melting pot. It's really like only a few other places that remind me of like just like New York is like that. Like depending on where you are in New York, you're like, Miami is so Little Haiti. There's the Cuban area. I mean, it's just such
a huge melting pot.
It's such a dope. There's so much culture in Miami. It's like, you know, a lot of people wouldn't even expect that because they just think of the beach and they think of like Vice
South
City
Beach
and all that shit. But I'm like, yo, Miami
as
a whole is like a cultural hub for a lot of people. Like I love Miami. It's my favorite city in the United States besides my hometown.
Yeah, and can't forget Play That Boy Zay. That's my boy. He coming out the city. He raw too.
Yo, it was dope when you and Ross ended up finally working together. Because it was dope to see Ross embrace the newer generation of what's going on in Miami. How important was that for you? Just like I
mean, I just felt like it was a passing of the torch and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With Ross. But Ross still got stuff in the chamber that he's still doing stuff. You know what I mean? And, you know, I've been listening to Ross since he was Po Boy.
Shout out to Po Boy.
You know, like when Flo Rida, Briscoe, and Ross, they was all rolling together and shit. But me and my brothers, like, we love Ross. You feel me? We listen to Ross, like Teflon Don, Deeper Than Rap, Port of Miami. We already knew who Ross. We knew Ross was raw. And
Triple C's album was fire. The City Cartel was hard.
And he was putting on for the city. Shout out to Breed. Like I fuck with Breed.
Gunplay is
because Breed messed with my boy Soldier Living True. That's my nigga Poochie. And we pretty much like connected through Poochie because we both fuck with Poochie heavy.
Gucci Poochie? Is this the same Poochie that used to manage Ross? Or is this a different Poochie?
No, it's a different Poochie.
Okay. Different Poochies in Miami.
Yeah, but you gotta call him Soldier Living True.
So okay. Yeah, I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah, don't fuck that up.
Shout out to Gunplay though. Gunplay is that motherfucker.
Gunplay is a rapper's rapper.
A rapper's rapper.
Rapper's rapper.
Remember that song Power Circle?
Nah, but I
was at
remember.
the- it
You
was
ever
at-
heard "Take This"?
Of course.
Take This was my shit.
to your brain. Bro, the
That was my
video
shit.
where he's got the white girl and he's like, I'm like, dude, I show that video to people all the time. I'm like, y'all want to see the craziest flagrant ass music video?
Yo, I'm gonna say this: Gunplay.
He's talking about being high on coke. He's
Yeah.
paranoid as fuck in the video. He's got the white chick and he's like taking money out of her spandex.
That shit was so crazy. He was like, "Bitch, we living in hell. How the fuck you the Reverend?" I was like, "Damn, this nigga raw." Like Gunplay, like listening to that, listening to All on You, rolling with Waka Flocka.
Yeah.
Single handedly, him and Waka Flocka is the reason why I wanted to grow dreads in the first place.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember Cartoons and Cereal with Gunplay and Kendrick?
Just talk about this shit this morning. Killed that shit,
I'm so mad that that's not on DSPs.
man.
That shit was so raw.
Yeah, yo, Gunplay. Yo, salute Gunplay, man. I know he chopped. I know he done yapped the dreads, but like,
He had there was a record on Self Made 2 called Power Circle. It was the intro, and it was Gunplay, Ross, Stally, Wale, Kendrick, and Meek. And it was just like he kicked it off, and it was like it's probably my favorite Gunplay
yo,
verse.
Gunplay be snapping.
Yeah, I would like to see Gunplay like do movies or like, I don't know, host a podcast or, you know, maybe do like the sidewalk talk shit that they're doing in New York with Nems, the Bing Bong guy, but like have him in Miami, like just because he's such a character. Like he's like a good ass. I mean,
Very animated.
He's always been super cool. Like when I met him. So shout out to Gunplay, man.
Same. Every time I see Gunplay is love, you know. So
Everybody should go watch the Take This video right now on YouTube.
And the one thing about Gunplay is people don't even know, like, out of Miami rappers, that's my favorite Miami rapper.
That's crazy.
Gunplay is my favorite Miami rapper. I like him more than I like Ross.
That's wild.
And Ross is talented as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Best ear for beats ever, maybe. It's up there.
It is up there, but Gunplay is like just
Favorite-
that rawness. Like that's what I love about
Miami
Gunplay.
rappers. There's yourself. There's Ross. There's Gunplay. Obviously Trick Daddy. Trina.
City Girls,
Shout out to the City Girls.
Kiddo Marv, Major 9. Who else? There's a lot. There's a lot coming out of the city. Bruno Malley.
Ace Hood.
Ace Hood. No. Ace Hood from Broward.
Is he from Broward? Okay.
Yeah, Ace Hood from Broward.
Okay, Broward County. It's totally separate.
Yeah.
Because that's where Fort Lauderdale is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I gotta still give it to Ross.
I
I think Ross is like the 10th best rapper of all time. I made a list and I had Ross at number 10, and I know that's high for a lot of people.
that is high. But if you listen to Teflon Don and Deeper Than Rap, you can't tell me those aren't certified classics. Those are classic ass albums.
I agree, and I mean, just the consistency, bro. Like
He's still going.
the flow is butter. What he brought to the game is, I mean, he's in my. I always say like 10. He's top 10, and I put him at 10.
I like Ross because he brought something different to Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
He really brought something different.
Because
to
really,
Miami
prior
music.
to that, like if you think of Trick Daddy, Trina, the Slip and Slide era, Flow Rider, that shit was just not like I feel like Ross embodied like what we thought of Miami when we saw Scarface, but like an updated version of like some boss, like Kingpin, like it just was like, it just, to me, it properly displayed that side of the aesthetic of Miami, as to where like Trina and Trick were, there was the whole other aesthetic of Miami that's like super turned up. And what's your favorite Miami strip club?
I don't go to strip clubs.
Ever? Like never?
Never.
Wow.
Nigga, let me tell you.
You're wifed up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to wifey.
Shout out to wifey.
Yeah.
But nigga, I do not go to strip clubs.
Did you have a bad experience?
Hell nah. I just don't go.
Not even for the food.
Why would I go?
G5 has great wings.
So does Tootsie's. But
Tootsie's got the fried lobster tail with seafood rice.
like, I don't want to go in there and then I just be like, oh shit, I went to school with this bitch. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
But the food is good at Tootsie's.
Like, last time I went in a strip club, my cousin Yaya took me to the strip club. And
I thought you were gonna say her cousin was dancing.
Nah, she was hell no. Why
That
the
would
fuck?
have been that would have been
weird.
fucked up, because you go in there not knowing, and she don't know you're coming in. And that's happened to
my
my
cousin
boy.
would-
My boy went to a strip club and saw his sister. I swear to fucking God, this
shit.
shit happened like 10 years ago.
That's crazy. Can't be me though. But like, I went to the strip club with my cousin, just, you know, cause she was linking up with a family friend over there. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna slide with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just went in there. She, chopped it up with a family friend and then dipped out. I ran into Ball Greasy.
Ball Greasy.
And Ball Greasy told the DJ I was there. The DJ was like, we got Denzel Curry in the building. I was just like, nah, nigga, I'm going home. Like,
He was on the Little Duval record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was dope to see him kind of like, because like I'm like, man, Ball Greasy been doing his thing for a long time. And that record was like top 5 at radio. So it was dope to like just
living my best life.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Duval, man. Yeah. Hey, so let's talk about this album. When does the album actually come out? Because
March 25th.
Okay, so we got a few weeks, but so we'll hold on to this until closer to the album. But you got some dope features on this project, but the T-Pain feature just was super unexpected because I'm listening to the album and the version of the early that I have doesn't have the features on it. So I'm just pressing play and I'm like, yo, this shit is hard. And then shit, T-Pain.
Yeah, T-Pain.
Was that an easy act? Like, Pain is the coolest mother. I'm real tight with Pain. I've been like, Pain is my guy. So people like, he's the most humble. If he fucks with you, he fucks with you.
He's the chillest dude I've met.
For sure.
So far. It's out of him and Thundercat and Flylo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what was the T-Pain like when you cut that record, did you specifically say like, I need T-Pain?
Nah, this is what happened. When I cut the record, I went to the Cave to work with Kenny Beats.
Okay.
You know what Kenny Beats is, right? So I worked with Kenny Beats at his studio.
You guys have a joint project.
Yeah. Unlocked. Yeah. Like when we together, the duo is Unlocked. Okay, like he produced our rap.
He's incredible. I've been trying to get him on the show. He like went on his Twitch and like played a part of my interview talking about how dope he is and was like, we made it. And I was like, damn. And I'm like, all right, well, come on the show then. Man, you might could connect us.
I'll talk to Kenny, man.
No, he's a legend, but continue.
But yeah, so I was at Kenny B studio. This was like early 2020. This is when I just went there and we wanted to work on some tracks, like, and he was playing beats and everything. Then he played, he played something. He played the sample of Troubles.
Okay.
And then I just started writing to it as he was making the beat, and I only wrote the hook. So I was like, got some trouble that these drugs can't fix. We might struggle because life's a bitch. They get happy when your ass get rich. Blowing money because our bag ain't shit. So he heard it and he was like, yo, just go in the studio, bro. Just go in. So I'm like, all right. I go in the studio. I lay it down. I lay down a verse. I laid out 2 verses. And basically, he was just like, this is dope. I sent it to my management. He was like, oh, this shit fire. This, that, and the third. Like, we like this. This is going to be the hit. I know this is going to be the hit. And then I'm just like, yeah, whatever, nigga. So I remember I was reaching out to people at this point because, like, I wasn't working as much with F&Z anymore. And I was just reaching out to people, seeing who was going to hit me back. And I was reaching out specifically to producers. Not even to artists. And T-Pain was just one of those artists I wanted to reach out to because I just wanted his insight with, with just music. And me and T-Pain's relationship, it started at Bonnaroo Festival in 2018. Like, he liked my cypher. Of course, I grew up on his music. I grew up on Rapper Turned Singer.
Of course.
And then, him and Adam DeVent from Workaholics was cracking jokes backstage back and forth.
I love that show.
Yo, it was like Def Comedy Jam or some shit. If you ever seen them two interact, it was funny as fuck.
That sounds amazing.
I do my set, he do his set. We still cracking jokes with each other. We exchange numbers, this and the third. That's how our relationship started. And then, I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I'm about to call you because, I changed my number. I don't know if he changed his number. Reached out to him and I was talking to him, just bigging him up and just letting him know, like, yo, you're a legend. I know you don't get appreciated as much because, like, all the things that happen in the industry, but bruh, I'm letting you know that I appreciate you and what you done for me just growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like all the shit you did with DJ Khaled,
of course,
all the shit you did with Rick Ross, all the shit you did with Plies, all the shit you did with Lil Wayne, and even all the shit you done yourself, even Freaknik. Like
the Plies T-Pain 1-2 punch. On those Khaled records.
Yeah, even the stuff you did with Kanye West.
Yeah, come on, man.
You know what I mean? So he would really appreciate that. And I wanted his feedback on 2 tracks that I have on the album. So one of them was Worst Come to Worst, and I sent Troubles. They were 2 opposites, and those were like the leading singles for me before I made any of the other records. Sent it to him, and he gets back to me. He said he loved Troubles. And he was like, Worst Come to Worst is fire too. If I was you, I'll put both of them bitches out at the same time on different blog sites. And I was like, that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also blog sites.
Blog site, whatever.
What year is it?
You know what I mean? So he really loved the Troubles record. He really liked that record. So my manager, Mark, a year later, he was like, hey, we think about sending that record to T-Pain to see what he's going to do with it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, you send it to most people. Most people don't get back to me because it's me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though they don't know me like that, you know? So basically what happened with that was I'm going in a Muay Thai class and T-Pain texts me. He's like, yo. And I'm like, yo. He didn't reply. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. So, you know, I'll call him probably at some point. Then the next day, I'm at my homie Power's crib, who also produced on this record. And, you know, we going over some stuff. I get a text from T-Pain, a Dropbox folder. And I open the folder and, you know, I'm listening to it and I was like, oh, this is Troubles and this, that, and the third, you know? And then next thing you know, his voice comes up and I'm like, oh shit, I start spazzing because the man ripped it. And he gave me classic T-Pain, like the T-Pain that everybody knows.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He gave me T-Pain. He gave me him.
Great record.
And what he was writing about was so real, and I know you felt it, you know? I felt that shit firsthand. And I even got self-conscious a bit, and I was just like, damn, should I change my verse? He was like, nah. And then Power's like, nah, hell nah, bro. Like, that's the record. Like, you got to keep it like that. So I'm like, you know what? You right. And I was feeling self-conscious because I'm like, damn, T-Pain ripped it. But I'm like, that's T-Pain. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, he's one of them ones. I mean, like, I think of him and Akon and like Lil Wayne and the run that they had when like around the same era and like how they were just on everything. It was like each of them had like 3 years and they just kept passing the baton. It was like Akon, then it was Pain, then it was Wayne and Pain. And then it was just Wayne. It was every remix, everything.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you ever do a song with DJ Khaled?
No.
He never tapped in?
Nah.
I feel like
he gonna tap in though. I know he gonna tap in though. I'm not even worried about that. I know he gonna tap in. And if he don't, he's sleeping.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, you know, he's had, you know, born and raised in the county of Dade. And
look, at this point, motherfuckers know who the fuck I am.
Yes.
I know motherfuckers know who the fuck I am. Do they say anything? Nah, they'll tell me in person, but they ain't gonna tweet about it.
Who was on that Born and Raised record? It was
Born and Raised in the County of Dade.
Yeah, it was Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy, Pitbull, Rick Ross.
Was Dre on it from Cool and Dre?
Nah, you must be thinking about Brown Paper Bag.
Brown Paper Bag. That was with Joel Santana.
That was my shit.
That shit was hard. Khaled, them early Khaled records before, like, I mean, Khaled's still putting out hit records.
Back when they had the
oh my God. Bro, there was that one Khaled video where Rick Ross gets pulled over and he jumps off the bridge into the water. Do you remember that? It was the most ridiculous, awesome, like overly like.
You ain't talking about We Taking Over, right?
I think so. He gets pulled over and then he just says, fuck it. And you just see Rick Ross jumping off of and it's really him. Like, they didn't use a stunt double. And they film it from like all the angles, and it's Rick Ross just diving into the ocean.
That was an era for Miami, though.
Oh, it was the best.
That was an era.
They all were on that XXL cover. It was Flo Rida, Ross, and Khaled. That shit was so fire. Plies, I know Plies is from Fort Myers, but Plies,
we adopt Plies.
You can claim Plies. Yeah,
we claim Plies.
He lives in Tampa.
We claim all Florida rappers. We claim everybody.
Plies lives in Tampa, though. A lot of people. You know what?
Don't tell him where. Don't tell the people where this man live, man.
No, people know.
They know. I didn't know.
Tampa claims that motherfucker, bro. That fool be at the he be at the goddamn. What's the grocery store with the great sandwiches in Florida?
Publix.
I miss Publix.
Yeah, me too.
Them subs. Publix sub.
They never had a pub sub.
Like, yo, it's crazy because like you can go to Ralph's and get
you get the chicken tender sub, right?
Oh, you can get. I mean, anything, but the chicken tender sub.
Chicken tender sub is the best one.
And Wawa.
Oh, they just got it. Wawa's down
out here.
No, not out here. I'm just talking about in Florida.
I know in Florida, I mean, I moved there early 2014. After the club, you'd be able to go to Wawa's and get a solid meatball or Parmesan sandwich from a gas station at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, yo, why aren't there more Wawa's everywhere?
The first time I heard of a Wawa is because of Ronnie J.
Really?
Yeah, he was the first person to ever tell me what a Wawa was.
It's kind of crazy because people were trying to hype me up, and I'm like, it's a fucking gas station.
No, it's not just a gas station.
It's not just a gas station. You can get some quality food at Wawa's.
Yeah, I like Wawa.
Yo, we got to stop the interview real quick. Shout out to our presenting sponsor, Odd Socks, baby. Hey, man, listen. All I keep on my ass is Odd socks, drawers. All I keep on my feet are Odd socks. You know why? Because they're the most comfortable socks in the world. And I'm not just saying this because they promote the podcast. I'm telling you, the socks are crazy. They got all the licenses. Look, they got Halloween socks. They have Back to the Future socks. They got fucking Twizzler socks. Old Dirty Bastard socks. RIP to ODB. All right, they also got their drawers if you want to wear some underwear with pizza on them. Whatever you need. But my favorite are the Odd Socks Basics, baby. These are just the plain boys. These, to me, are the most comfortable socks in the world. All right? So trust me when I say go to oddsocksofficial.com. Thank me later when you go to checkout, buying the most comfortable socks in the world. Get some WWE socks, too. I just saw a sneak peek of the new WWE line, and they're fucking insane. In-fucking-sane. Go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code Bootleg Kev. That's one word together. Bootleg Kev. We should talk to them about shortening that. Bootleg Kev is the promo code. You will get 20% off at checkout. One more time, go to oddsocksofficial.com. Save 20% off using that promo code Bootleg Kev. Let's get back to the interview. What's your favorite, like, if someone's going to Miami, right, and fuck Yelp, you have to tell them this is kind of the food spot that really ain't out there like that. What's the food spot that you would tell people to go to?
I take people to South Miami, right? Oh, somebody calling you?
Hovain. I think, text Hovain for me.
Ooh, got hands. Anyway, if you in Miami, like, go to South Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Or you go to Hialeah. Mm-hmm. There's a place called Hungry Bear.
Hungry Bear?
And you get, Hungry Bear. And you get these big ass, most fire sandwich you probably ever had.
Okay. I'm a sandwich guy.
Like, if you go to South Miami, it's right across the street from Miami-Dade.
Okay.
Like, you go over there, like the South Campus.
Yeah.
So if you go down there, go across the street from Miami-Dade South Campus, and then it's in this little plaza. It's called Hungry Bear. Go in there, go get you a sandwich. They cross everything out on the list of what you want on your sandwich. And bruh, you could like, if you hella hungry, eat half that sandwich right there. And
do they have one in Wynwood?
Nah, it's in Hialeah.
I was in Wynwood, and my boy from Miami took me to a sandwich place, and it was like that. Like with the cross.
Oh, you talk about
yeah, it was a sandwich spot, and it was fucking gas, but it was in Wynwood. It was like, I don't know. We went after Rolling Loud last year, and it was pretty fire. Are you doing Rolling Loud this year?
Nope.
How many Rolling Louds have you done?
I did from 2015 to 2019.
Were you on the?
I didn't do the 2018 one, and I didn't do the 20. I kind of did the 2016 one. Because,
kind of.
Yeah, I kind of did because, I went there, when
you were there. I remember meeting
X invited me. He wanted me to come out during his set, and I did that.
Are we sure that was 2016?
That was 2016. It was on the smaller stage.
Okay.
And I went out for Suicide Boys too. That
Shout out to the
year.
Suicide Boys, man. Them dudes was eating.
And then what
Puya
else?
too. Hey, shout out to Puya.
Oh, shout out to Puya.
We forgot to mention him when we were talking about Miami rappers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We got to mention
true.
Puya. Puya. I just saw him not too long ago. He cut his hair again.
Yeah.
Good to see Puya.
Puya's good.
Super nice guy. And Fat Nick. I love Fat Nick. He's just a character. He's kind of like a walking cartoon character, I always tell him. I'm like, bro.
I'm cool with Fat Nick, but I'm cooler with Puya.
Puya's he's a beast. I feel like he had to be influenced by what you guys.
He says it every day.
Yeah, very much so.
Like, he was influenced by me and Nell from like Raider Clan and shit,
The Raider Clan shit could have been so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if things didn't play out the way it did, all of us would be like multimillionaires right now.
Instead, just you are.
I ain't gonna even just put my name in that ring like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing well.
You're doing well.
I'm doing well. That's all that matters, man.
What is like this? Everyone has a stupid thing they spend money on. For me, I don't buy, like, I don't have a nice, like, I just have a normal car. It's paid off. I don't have a car payment, I usually buy just like, I buy basketball cards or Phoenix Suns jerseys of like any, like I have like 30 Suns jerseys. I don't know, I just buy stupid shit like that. Maybe some Jordans.
Right.
What is the dumb thing you spend money on?
I don't even consider it dumb, but I buy toys. Like
toys? So you have a toy collection?
Yeah, I got a toy collection.
You have like a toy room?
I got a toy case.
Ah.
Like I just buy
So
toys.
how old are they? Like, because I have my homie DJ.
Like, all right, you remember that movie Small Soldiers?
Of course.
I bought those toys.
Nice.
Like Gargoyles, bought those toys.
Gargoyles.
Godzilla's, bought those toys.
Okay.
Ultraman Tiga, bought those toys.
Small.
The old school Power Rangers, like
I
bought
remember.
those toys.
I remember. So you got all those. You buy them like in the box unopened?
I buy them. Yeah, I don't open them shits at all.
Got to go on eBay for that?
Yeah, I go on eBay. I see how much it is, and it'd be like $300 for like the Small Soldier shit. I would be like, run it.
I just started to get some like Funkos, and I have like some LeBron toys, which sounds really, really stupid compared to your toys. And I have all my old Ninja Turtles from when I was a kid still in my garage.
I be looking up the Burger King Dragon Ball Z figurines, the ones that was like silver.
Right.
I'm trying to see how much like they cost.
What's the most expensive toy you have, or the most expensive toy that actually cost you like the most money?
Man, it's kind of hard to decide. I forgot how much one of my toys cost. Damn, it was a lot.
Over
Damn,
1,000?
I don't even know.
Over 1,000?
I think as my toys as a whole is over 1,000. Probably over 2 bands.
That's tight. Small Soldiers had a solid soundtrack. They had a song with Bone Thugs on that soundtrack that was fire.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That was a good movie. I didn't remember the soundtrack though. I used
to be a big Bone Thugs fan as a kid, so like anything Bone Thugs was on, we'd buy this. Like, oh, they're on the Batman and Robin soundtrack. Let's buy it.
Oh my god.
Small Soldiers though, people forget about that fucking movie.
Those toys look so raw.
I bet they do, because the fucking whole movie's based on toys. So like even the old school Toy Story toys looked hard because it felt like it was like the same.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear.
The Buzz Lightyear was lit.
Woody. I actually got those in my toy case too. You know.
Oh, so your shit is just nostalgic.
Yeah, got a lot of Dragon Ball Z toys.
Were you a big anime guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen you perform, and I know some of your aesthetic on your artwork, all that. So I mean, I can only assume. What's your favorite? What's like the GOAT anime to you?
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
That's a GOAT anime for me. People would think it's Dragon Ball Z, and I love Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? But
I bought my son the Blu-ray box set of Dragon Ball Z. I didn't realize how many episodes were on each season. That's like I feel like it's like more than like most shows.
But the thing with that shit just get hella turned up. You know what I'm saying? Like I rewatched all 9 seasons of it during quarantine, and I was like, damn, this shit giving me anxiety again. Like, because they be powering up and you think something's gonna happen, and then they gotta go to the next episode. You're like, what the hell's going on? You know?
Ooh. I rewatched The Wire during the pandemic and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Man.
You ever watch Curb?
Oh, I love Curb.
Did you watch this past season?
No, I didn't get to see the past season.
It's so good.
But I like Curb. I never watched Seinfeld though.
You know, I liked Seinfeld until I watched Curb, and I was like, Seinfeld ain't shit. Curb is like Curb is like the absolute best version of like that type of humor. So like Seinfeld was amazing. I love Seinfeld, but it is not fucking with Curb.
Nah, Curb is just funny, especially when they have Vivica A. Fox on that shit.
Oh my God. After the Hurricane Katrina shit. And what's crazy is old boy is still Leon is still on the show. Still lives with Larry to this day, to this season. He's still in Larry's house. So good, man. Shout out to him. On this album too, you also got Black Jid. Talk about it. Was it track 8? Am I getting it?
Oh shit.
Is that track 8?
What's it, track 8?
Is it called?
I gotta look through it.
Is it called What You Mean?
No, it's called Ain't No Way.
There's a song called What You Mean though? No. Okay. I just listened to the album.
Worse, but it's called Ain't No Way.
That song is crazy. It's like a real posse cut though. Mm-hmm. And you had told me all the artists on this. I didn't even realize Buddy was singing at the end. Like crazy posse cut.
Yeah.
Who else on this record?
Okay, so it's myself, Jid, Josiah, Rico Nasty, Kitty Cash, Buddy, Robert Glasper plays keys on this, and Powers, and Buddy singing at the end.
That's a hard. I mean, is that a hard song to pull off?
Yo, you would think it's a hard song to pull.
All the moving parts.
Yo, you would think it's a hard song to pull off, but the night we recorded that shit, it felt like it was the easiest thing.
Was everyone there?
Everybody was there.
Oh, see, that's rare these days to have that many people in the same place.
Bruh, the way the link up was crazy because I went there for a Josiah session, and Josiah was working on his song called Art of War, which at first I wasn't going right to it. And then I did the intro, but I ended up writing to it. So I go outside, start writing my verse and shit, right? Rico Nasty's next door. I didn't even know she was in the same building. Rico Nasty comes out the room the same time I come out the room to write my verse. So I'm on the couch writing. I hear, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I look up and I was like, oh, that's Rico. Rico. I called her name 3 times. Rico. So Rico looked down finally. She was like, boy, what? Oh, what's up, Denzel? I was like, yo, what's good, Rico? And we started chopping it up. And then we go into the next room. We go into the room with Josiah and Sean and all them boys. And then I was like, look who I ran into. So Josiah and Rico chopping it up. I'm showing them how to use the collie sticks and shit. We was talking about before the interview. And there's an actual video of me, Josiah, and Rico them using the collie sticks. And I asked Rico, hey, you trying to jump on this song with us, right? Because I did my verse. And then we played it for her. She was like, oh, hell yeah. And then when y'all done, let's like come over to my session and shit. Well, we actually took the session to her room. To her room. It was a bigger room.
Right.
So we go over to her session. It was just her and David Ali and her engineer. We all come in there, me, Sean, Josiah, and Jazz, and this other dude who produced Art of War. We're all in there just vibing. Next thing you know, she was like, yo, I'm finna call Jid and this, that, and the third. She calls Jid, tells Jid to pull up. I didn't know Jid was with Black at the time or with Kitty Cash. We just thinking Jid gonna pull up. Jid pulls up with Black and Kitty Cash. We called Powers around the same time. We like, Powers, you gotta come to this session. You got to. He was doing some other shit. He was like, all right, I'm on the way. He brought his laptop. He was on the way. He comes through. So now there's a lot of us. And now we seeing Black and Kitty Cash in the same room. Next thing you know, we in there experimented. This motherfucker, Josiah's on the couch, like turning up and shit, like yelling, ain't no way. We freestyling over this beat that Powers played, and it had 2 halves to it. So we had, that's when Jid, I don't know what happened, but this nigga was like Quincy Jones that night. This man started organizing the track like, hey, whatever you saying right now, do that shit, go in the studio, record that shit, boom. So Josiah says, ain't no way on the way, like kind of like a bridge type shit. Then he goes and tells Black, we need you to do this hook. He goes in there, does the hook, like, ain't no way, niggas still doubt me after this. He does that. Then he was like, Rico, you need to write this verse right now, and then you need to go after Josiah. So he started organizing this shit. And he was like, Denzel, where you want to go? So I'm like, man, long as I'm on this shit, I don't give a fuck where I'm at.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because there was so many of us.
Buddy's not there yet.
Buddy came through, like, I'll let you know where Buddy came through. So we already recorded Art of War, me, Rico, and Josiah, right? Then we started recording Ain't No Way and just putting the pieces together. So he's organizing everybody. Jid, I don't know. Jid kind of got this experience due to the fact that they did the Revenge of the Dreamers shit. So I'm pretty sure
he was. I mean, that was I've heard in detail about those sessions, so it would make sense he would know how to.
Yeah, he know how to kind of conduct everybody. Yeah. Then Jid goes in. Ain't no way I ain't gonna Shawshank from out the shit. He does his verse, and I'm sitting there writing. He gets out the booth. Denzel, what you got? And then I started spitting my verse to him. He was like, "That's it. Go in there." So I go in. I do my verse, and then Black shows up with a bunch of females. So we in there. Black goes in, started doing a and then the song's completely done. They did a third track, but I went home. I told it was getting too late. Jid convincing me to stay in the studio. Matter of fact, I didn't even get the Kitty Cash part. He was like, Kitty, there's like a little part right here. We need you to talk shit. And Kitty goes in there, kills it, one take.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I go home. They made one more track that night, and they sent Ain't No Way to me. But originally, we wanted Rico to have it. That was supposed to be Rico's record. But David was like, it's all fair game. Whoever wants it could have it.
Shout out David Ali, that's my guy.
And to be honest with you, I didn't want no features for this album. The only feature was T-Pain. That was the only one I allowed.
Right.
But when it came down to the final stages and nobody was claiming his record, like, it was going to be hard for Powers to clear it. You know what I'm saying? Rico didn't want the record, even though I felt like it fit for her.
Right.
Like, I was like, my manager was like, why don't we just put this record on the album? And I was just like, I was on the fence about it at first because I'm like, how the fuck we gonna get all this shit cleared?
So many different moving parts.
So many people.
Different labels, different management, all of it.
Yeah, and we all know each other though.
Right.
And so of course we was gonna make it work. So we go to Electric Lady and I finished the little half. I added more to my verse because it was short. It was the same length as Jiz's verse. I added more to it. And Robert Glasper started adding his like keys over it. Next thing you know, the song was completed. And that's how that song came about.
You didn't tell me how Buddy got on it.
Oh, Buddy shows up and then he just ended up did the same shit.
That's so crazy that like, because we don't hear those kind of sessions anymore, especially that many people. Like, it's always some emailing. That shit sounded like
there was no email, bro. We was all in person. And there's pictures and videos to prove that all of us was there that night recording this track.
Tell me about you have a crazy discography. How many plaques do you have?
3.
3 plaques. That's big.
Independently, yeah.
I was gonna say independent. I mean that's huge. Your discography is very diverse. It's very vast. What is your? If I had to ask you what your favorite album is,
it's probably gonna be this one,
excluding this one. How about that?
Excluding this one?
Yeah.
Shit, can't tell you, bro. I don't really got like a favorite album. Like, I hate looking at my old work.
What is a song that you hear that's popular of yours, or that you hate to perform because it's like so old and you're like, I've evolved so much past this, but the fans fucking love it?
I mean, I would say Ultimate, but I love that song.
It's fucking great.
You know, like I would say Clout Cobain, but I love that song too. I like Ricky, but I love that song too. And those are my hits. But one song that I like, I don't feel confident performing, but I love it so much because it's my favorite song that I ever made, is This Life.
Okay.
From Imperial.
Is it like, is it weird to like when you put a track list together? Obviously, every time you put a new album out, you're like when you go on tour, you have to change up you switch up your track list. Is it kind of hard, like dropping some records that you've been performing for some years? It's like, I'm kind of like getting rid of some of my kids on this tour.
Yeah, I mean, at first it's hard, and then we would put those records back in, and then when the crowd doesn't move because they don't know it, we take them right back out.
So it's like almost like an always evolving play, like track list.
Yes.
When you do your tours. Are you going to be touring for this album?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Some people are weirded out by COVID still. And
give a fuck. I caught COVID twice.
Twice. Was it the Omicron? Was it the OG COVID?
I didn't get the OG COVID. I didn't get the killer COVID. I didn't get that shit.
Thank God.
But I got COVID last year in July. On July 4th, actually. Didn't even know. I just thought the shit was allergies, and I was moving around, jogging, all types of shit. Actually, one of the tracks on this album, Mental, I rapped that while I had COVID, and I didn't even know.
COVID track.
Yeah, that was a COVID track.
Did you vax that thing up, as Juvenile would say?
Did I vax that thing up?
Did you see the Juvenile?
Did I vax that thing up?
Did you see that? Did you see the music?
No.
You didn't see the music video they paid Juvenile to do?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good. Juvenile did a remix of Back That Ass Up, and he called it Vax That Thing Up. And they did a music video.
Oh my God.
It was like a Juvie Vax That Thing Up. I swear it was probably one of my favorite things to come out of the pandemic, was the fact that Juvenile did that. I was just like, I don't know what to think about this, but I'm just glad it happened. It kind of sucks, kind of sad, but you know.
Oh my God. What? God damn.
When pandering goes wrong, because it was like a government thing, you know. They're like, yo, how can we get minorities to get vaccinated? You know what? Juvenile.
Hey man,
back that thing up is our
far-fetched. They got me to tell motherfuckers to stop vaping.
I mean, Yeah, vaping's probably not the greatest thing for you.
Yep, and so is COVID. It's not the greatest thing for you either. So it is what it is.
When you say they got you, did you do a campaign for that?
Yeah, I had to keep it up for a few months and shit. And then it was like, why would you do a campaign of no vaping? I was like, well, shit, I was already telling motherfuckers stop vaping for free.
Might as well get the bag. Yeah, vaping's bad.
And it's not far-fetched from what I was already telling motherfuckers. It's not like I was just out the blue just being like, hey, stop vaping.
Do you have a friend that vapes like a serious vapor? Like
It was my booking agent. I got him to stop vaping.
and they won't like if you have a friend that's like a hardcore vapor, it's like attached to them. Like it's like the big rig with the little thing.
I know people that still vape. Like one of my, I ain't gonna name his name, but like, yeah, he be vaping. I'd be like, man, that should be smelling like cotton candy. I was like, man, get this shit out of here, dog.
I feel like one of those big vape rigs, a Fox Racing t-shirt, some cargo shorts, some DC shoes,
Oh my God, man.
just a busted down black and white trucker hat, and ICP playing. When I think of vapors, that's what I think of.
Oh, dog.
Anyway. Hey, so look, the album is out March 25th.
Yep.
The 25th. Break down the title, because the title is yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, the whole thing with the whole title, Melt My Eyes, See a Future. When I first made that title, it was supposed to come out after Taboo. And I just thought like, I made this long ass title, it sound fire. That's all I thought it was. I was like, damn, if I was thinking of a fire name or album, what would I call it? And I was like, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. I was like, shit, that shit sounds
That shit's
raw.
hard.
But as I started working on the album, it was pretty much about awareness at a point. And then I was like, but I'm not gonna name an album Awareness.
Yeah, that's
Like that's whack as fuck. Like I ain't gonna name an album Awareness.
be a terrible album name.
And he's like, awareness. We need to be aware. Like, shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You've already
But-
made people aware to stop vaping.
Yeah, of
Enough
course.
awareness was done.
Exactly. So when I started working on it more, it was more so about myself and it's discovering who I am and, you know, like a self-discovery type of thing and flaws in everything, what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, what I need to work on, what I don't need to work
Right.
on, you know? And it just became about melting the perception of what people thought I was.
All right.
You know, because during the quarantine, you know, before we all had to isolate, people were telling me, yo, you're the greatest rapper, or you're this, or you're that, or you're a great performer, or you're the best rapper of all time, or you're this. But the moment quarantine happened, all that shit did not exist anymore.
What do you mean?
That shit didn't exist.
You just getting like
Praises.
praise.
So when people wasn't telling me who Denzel Curry was,
Then who are you?
who the fuck am I? Exactly.
That's real. Because if that's always happening, because you're always out, you're always running around, you're always seeing people, you can kind of just live off of that.
Yeah. And you living off your own high.
Yeah.
You smelling your own high.
You're smelling, yeah, no, that's real.
You
You're
know what I'm
smelling your own
saying?
roses a bit, and you can exist in that way until you can't, until it's all gone, and then you
Once it's all gone, you are completely on human level.
Yep.
With everybody. You are on the same playing field. You get what I'm saying? Anything could happen. So once I got to that point where I was like, who am I? It just took 2 years to figure out and like do a little soul searching and self-discovery with the time I did have.
So the pandemic was great for you personally, personal growth wise.
Hell yeah.
I think it was,
I feel like I still got shit I need to work on.
of course,
But
you're never
as
gonna
in-
not have shit you should work on. No
Yeah.
one's ever gonna be perfect.
But as in being a totally perfect person, I'm not gonna be that. Being a totally flawed person, I'm not gonna be that either.
That's fair. Well, shout out to my guy. I appreciate you finally pulling up, man.
I'm glad to be here. Anytime, man. Just let me know when you need me to come back, because I'll come back.
The album is crazy. I was saying, like, I mean, I've listened to pretty much every album this year. It's like up there for best album of the year. I mean, I know we're only a quarter of the way through the year, but it's an amazing body of work, man.
Right.
So congrats.
This been on my mind. Just for Florida rappers, 454. Make sure y'all check that motherfucker out too.
Okay, let's get it out there. 454.
Yeah, 454.
I'm a peep. There it is. Boom.
And damn, is that it? That's all?
I don't know what else.
Shit. I always I gotta end with this.
You want
man.
to rap?
Hell nah. Nah. I just wanted to end with like, are we still recording?
Yeah.
All right. If you not a Denzel Curry fan, For whatever reason, if you think I'm trash, if you think I'm ass, if you think I'm garbage, listen to this fucking album. And I bet all my money that you will like this shit. If you were a Denzel Curry fan and you left for whatever reason, bump this fucking album because you're going to be a Denzel Curry fan again. That's what I believe. There's no doubt in my mind. There ain't going to be no skips on this bitch, and you know this. That's what I'm leaving off
0
on.
skips, 14 tracks, 0 skips.
0 skips. It's 2 sevens. I'm channeling God twice.
There
Supreme mathematics.
There it is.